Uh, how's everybody doing? It's nice and bright here. Good morning, Houston. Actually, it's good afternoon, right? Um, gee, I tell you, somebody has sent me a donation for $400, and I got the name of the person, Sam, Pat. So I wrote it down, and I'm going to pronounce it again on my next video because I was looking for the the index card in which I wrote him. Miss Farmer let me know, and the person didn't want a reading. The person didn't want a birth chart. They found out about my phone dying, and that I didn't have enough to pay it. And that sounds me not having enough, and my name is like weird. Money is never an issue for me. Never has been. But because of what's been going on, and the freezing of my account, the stolen inheritance and all the shit going on, and it was affecting even my accounts to pay my hotel. Um, some of you just like the outpouring of sympathy and love, and someone sent me a $400 for donation, and that was so heartfelt. I was able to get the phone on. In fact, I am talking to you from my new phone. Thank you for this person who paid the money for me to activate the phone. Again, the woodcraft and the coven that are coming after me are so relentless, and they are determined to destroy me, my work, and take me down. For a mustard seed of a minute, I was becoming a little discouraged, a little, because I was waiting for God to deliverance. But this has been really hard. This has been a tough battle, tough journey. It's one person against 70, 80 people in the coven and family, friends. Everyone turned on me, betrayed me, left and right, front and center. You don't know who to trust, who to lean on. And it's good to know that I got my subscribers. You guys really, really, really have been there for me. You've witnessed the terror, the horror that I've been put through. And I am still living in a hotel for months, spending up to $15,000 a month my bill for staying in hotels. And I don't come cheap. I gotta stay in the best. But it's just so inconvenient. It's so inconvenient. Uh, but I got a dream that it is finally over. Well, I hope so because I've heard that before. But and the thing is that I have to um, come to the realization that when you hold on, I'm taking care of blisters. When you have a calling, it's a blessing, a privilege to blessing. But it's also I don't mind doing this in front of you guys. I mean, you're like family. I when you call when you are anointed and you're called to serve, um, you know, no mind me, like I'm being at home, and I'm like the chosen one. I'm chosen. You know, so many people get jealous and envious, but they don't realize that this is hard work and it's a sacrifice and it's lonely. It's lonely, you know, and you have people trying to kill you, death threats, real, you know. And I can see why people don't want to do this type of work. You're wondering how come there aren't many astrologers doing what I'm doing? Well, precisely because of the things that I'm going through. Nobody likes to receive death threats. No one likes to have their families and friends in jeopardy. Some lunatic, some sociopath, psychopath, you know, chosen ones like myself, we're always going to be wealthy. We're always going to have money, more than enough. And people are going to be jealous of that. And they're going to come after us for that. You know what I'm saying? For our abundance. Energy vampires want to take our energy, drain our energy, and then get rid of us. Then you got copycats. I got a few copycats out there that have been taking my work and making a lot of money off my content, putting it in other platforms in other countries and translating it into other languages. This is a compliment, I guess, but they're making lots of money off my work and my content, right? And again, I'm like, it doesn't bother me because again, this content is not mine for you to steal. It belongs to the creator. Um, and sooner or later, these copycats are going to get caught. They're going to be destroyed. I mean, they got to have balls to do this. Because you have to have access to the creator, not to me. I'm going to continue. And the thing is that the universe is going to make sure that people know that these are copycats, that this ain't real. It's terrible what's going on out there. And I'm just minding my business. I'm just minding my fucking business, doing the Lord's work among all these powerful obstacles, oppositions, adversity, and threat to life and threat to work. And listen, I tell you, I ain't scared of nobody or nothing, for the exception of the Almighty. And these people are such cowards. They're such miserable cowards. Instead of fighting me face to face, they go behind and do spell work and shit like that. These people are not even human. They're animals. They're not even human. The earth vomits them out. And that includes my own family members. It's really, but it's a tough call. It's a tough call. Now, why am I sharing this with you today on a Sunday? Because a lot of these prophets in the Bible have walked a journey which we appreciate today by reading their stories in the Bible. But their journey and their struggles is no different than what I'm doing today and many us chosen ones and light workers are doing today, 21st century. It is no different today than it was 5,000 BC. Again, I say it again and again and again. Again and again, over and over, again and again, over and over. Right? Madonna's song. Nothing is new under the sun. All has been here before. Light workers, chosen ones, are today's prophets and seers of the ancient world of the Bible. Hell, some of us are reincarnate of the lines of Solomon and Jesus. Some of us have reincarnated who were once pharaohs of Egypt and are reincarnated and they don't even know that they have pharaoh blood, royal blood, Egyptian blood. I know that I have royal blood and Egyptian blood. And I know for a fact that I was a pharaoh in a former life in Egypt. And I'm reincarnated. I am a child of Ra. I've always known that. Again, why witchcraft and spell work cannot work on people like us. It's dangerous for you. Because people like us, we don't delve into witchcraft. Yes, we know spells and things like that to protect us, but we don't do witchcraft on other people. And because we don't do that, we're too elevated. These things are not going to work on us. And the universe has a very funny way of letting things play out. The universe will let you throw all kinds of spells, death spells, ugly spells, chaos magic, all that shit, indefinitely to exhaust you, to see that, look, we're still here. You ain't changed nothing. If anything, you've made me more abundant. You've given me more longevity of life because whatever witchcraft is being thrown at a chosen one, it not only does it backfire, but it gives you the opposite intent of what you wanted. For example, I know for a fact that somebody was doing magic spells for me to be ugly. Some people think I'm too handsome for my age and I'm too young looking for my age. So they've done spell work for me to be disfigured, to get growth and tumors, to lose my hair, and the funny thing is that I'm seeing people who I knew were very good looking. Now they're bald, they're getting ashy skin. Some of them are even losing skin coloration and blotches. Some people have gotten fat and not in a pleasant way. I know that these are people that have been doing spell work on me because that's what they want for me. But because these spells are never going to work on chosen and light workers, it backfired. It gave them what they intended and then gave me the opposite, made me more beautiful, more healthy, more handsome. Oh, well, thank you. And they continue on and on and on, thinking that they're going to somehow get the right spell or the right lunar phase or the right to strike. What's funny is that when you do a lot of spells against somebody and it doesn't work and it backfires, it puts you in a bubble, a continuous bubble of doing witchcraft, and the bubble gets bigger and bigger and denser and thicker, and you get stuck in your own insanity. These people run the risk of going mentally insane. Because God will teach you a lesson. It's crazy. It is, listen, this is no different than King Solomon. King Solomon was told, do not sleep with these women of yellow hair. King Solomon had 1,000 wives and 5,000 concubines. God told him, do not sleep with these women of Canaan. These strange women with strange gods and idols of yellow hair. To call them blondes. So obviously, it's making reference to a particular type of race. And it had nothing to do with the fact that they were white, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Reference of yellow hair. In Spanish, we call that rubio. Not rubio. Oh, yeah, rubia. These are blondes. So obviously, we're talking about the Aryan race, right? Because it's been there. All the races are there. Solomon attracted all the races. But Solomon was not supposed to mix his blood with these people of yellow hair, these women of yellow hair. Because just like today, you got people that want to have sex with me, and I know that they got sexually transmitted demons that can connect to you, and they have a demon attachment that can fuck your shit up. No different than in Solomon's day. Solomon slept with these women who were very lustful, and he lost his gift. He became insane. If you know the story of Solomon, Solomon's demise is that he ended up insane. I'm getting a call from the hotel. This always happens. Always happens when I'm live. God damn it. Always. 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 It is so funny. Every time you call me, I am live on the air. Every time. Every time. Oh my God. You're on the air as we speak. It is crazy. Every time. Okay, I'll be done like in an hour. It's fine? Okay, great. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll be there as soon as possible. I gotta pay my hotel bill every day before 12 o'clock. But when I go to my accountant to get it paid, the money is no, it's never ready on time. And then I said, you know what, fuck it, they can wait. Let me go ahead and go. Like that's why I start at 12 because I'm the hotels are paid, the bill is paid every before noon, and it's like $20 a night. Sometimes I do a week, which is about what $1,400 a week, and without taxes. The taxes alone is like an additional $200. So I'm paying fortune, a fortune. You know, thank God that in during taxes, I get a lot of that back. I get tax credit, because it's based on the company. You know, but it always happens that when I go live is when they call to for it. And I'm like, every time you fucking, I try to do it before I go on the air, but when I go on the air, the phone rings for that. And my accountant takes care of it from that end, but I still gotta go downstairs and pay the incidental. It's so stupid. I'm like, why don't you just take care of everything? Like, no. You have to come in and give your card for the incidental. We know your accountant pays for everything else. It's set up. It's the Hilton. The Hilton is like this. No other hotel that I've stayed is a two-step process. Only the Hilton. I tell you, it's bougie. I mean, I could never be that bougie. Maybe they should talk to my brother. He's the most bougie of the queen to try to, I ain't gonna tell you what's the fate that's waiting him. But back to Solomon. So Solomon became insane, mentally insane. It's in the Bible. Great Solomon, of great wisdom, became insane, mentally insane, walking around the street, going, talking babble. Yeah, King Solomon. And of course, where did this all happen? In the city of ancient Babylon, where everything seems to be happening in Babylon. So where am I going with this? Nothing is new under the sun. Just like we got prophets in the ancient world that go crazy, mentally insane because they have too much knowledge, or they gain too much knowledge, or they make a mistake by mixing their blood with other tribes of people that they're not supposed to. It's no different today. We see that with the Jewish people, that they don't mix their blood. And we got some rabbis that have become mentally insane because of going into the tree of life and entering certain planes that they're not prepared to go into. Okay, the kippur, which is the opposite, the inverted tree of the tree of life, is a demonic kippur. You got to pass through these realms to get to the higher part of the tree of life. And if you don't, you can get stuck in these realms and lose your mind. It is no different today than it was 5,000 years ago. No different. You got priests today that can lose their mind over too much intelligence, or obtaining high-level intelligence that they're not capacity to get yet because they're not properly initiated. It's no different than in the ancient world. Today, we are told, do not do this. Do not go to the Akashic records. You don't have the purity to enter the Akashic records. You might lose your mind. But some people still do it. And they lose their minds. And they get stuck in these realms. It is no different than it happened 5,000 years ago with these great prophets. It's no different. It's the same story. Nothing is new under the sun. All has been here before. All transgressions and mistakes and trials and errors have occurred over and over again and again, because we are moving from one epoch to another. And the destruction of one epoch destroys everything and all memory. And then humanity has to start over again. We don't remember, we're not designed to remember. That way we can continue living down the timeline of human existence, repeating everything that we've learned from other epochs through many past lives. Yeah. However, I got another one for you. And I got a download. I got a download. And this download I got 2 hours before doing this video. 2 hours before doing this video. 2 hours. I have my mint tea, right? And I got my fruits. And it was too early, so I said to myself, yeah, I got the tea. The tea situation is looming. I went in there and lay down. I get up sometimes at 7 in the morning. I go to bed late. I do a lot of reading, a lot of meditation. I'll sit down and eat a fruit, or drink some tea, right? And lay back and relax. A lot of times I don't like to do that because when I do, I start to get visions. I start to get visions. I start to get downloads. And let me tell you, I think I've mentioned it before, but and I'm just gonna deviate a bit from today's discourse and talk about this vision. I keep having this vision of tidal waves coming into the shores of the United States and completely obliterating cities. I've been having these visions about a great flood coming. Now, I watch a lot of tarot card videos, as an empress, divine feminine. And yes, even though I am a male, I am an empress and I do carry divine feminine. Why? Because my head is a female, or shoe, female. Men that carry female deities are called Omoshun. Okay? That's why a man is able to carry feminine energy, not because he himself is effeminate, or that he can become effeminate due to this energy, but because he carries goddess energy that rules the head. The same thing with a woman carrying a male deity. So she's an emperor or divine masculine, even though she's a woman, because she carries a male deity. That is how in the tarot card, that's how that plays out. Okay? And anybody that knows me knows that I carry divine feminine energy or empress energy or high priestess energy. Right? But I can always switch to the male, both. Right? So, we always get visions. Now, sometimes I get dreams where I get, information downloads. But a lot of times I get visions. And I have been getting these visions repeatedly about a great flood. Not the great flood like what sunk Atlantis. No. I'm talking about a flood that's going to devastate the shores of the United States. And this was terrible. One vision, I'm in a ship. And the tsunami is so huge, covers the sun. Now, can you imagine? Do you know how high the sun is right now at 12 o'clock? Do you know how high that sun is compared to right ascension from the earth all the way up to the sun? Do you know how high that is? Can you imagine a wave so high that it covers the clouds? It covers the sun. Oh Lord Jesus Christ. I cannot imagine that height of a wave. And yes, we're talking about noontime when the sun is at its highest elevation. Not at a dial, where it could be very easily obliterate the sun with a no. This bitch is like maybe 100 stories high, like the Empire State Building. That's how big this bitch is. And I'm in the ship, and everyone is screaming, running. The boat is the ship is moving like this, and people are screaming. The water is entering the ship, and me and a few people that I know, we are running from the ship. Got 12 decks, or maybe 9 decks, and we are running from deck to deck as the water comes in, and you hear people being killed, and explosion, glass and stuff, and the water is angry. You can feel the anger, and you can smell the salt in the air, and all of this is just terrifying. I was telling God, God, please take me out of here, take me out of this vision. I don't want to take me out, take me out. It was terrifying. The screams of the people, the screams, oh my God, I couldn't forget it. I'll be having these visions, deep, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God. And I keep seeing the word Florida. Florida, the state of Florida, is not going to exist anymore. The entire state of Florida will completely be inundated, broken off. It'll be like a state, but it don't got that big, arm sticking out. The Florida Keys, forget it. The islands in the Caribbean, West Indies, forget it. Gone. I just could not. And it's gonna happen suddenly, without warning. These were visions I keep having. Today's vision was different. Today's vision, I was in a hotel, kind of similar to the Hilton, very nice, posh. There was some kind of gala going on, like an afternoon function. People walking around, having drinks. There's apple juice. Having drinks, casually. And I'm in the vision, right, walking around. And I look, it's like windows like this, right, like this. And, it looked like I was in a buffet table. And, I'm like, what is this girl? I like some of those, please. Yes, I like some of that, please. Oh, thank you. All kiki, like, I have some of those, please. And I turn around and I see this wave. And I'm like, oh, wow, the wave is pretty high. Wow, okay. I turn back around. Oh, I have some of those, please. Thank you. And nobody paying attention. So I'm getting my plate, and then I turn back around because the stairways is this way. So I'm walking around, okay. And I walk around, and boom. It came so close, and it completely took over the beach. Oh, and you see kids drowning, people drowning, and I'm like, what am I? And then you see the fish. I saw a fucking shark at the shore. That's how huge. Where there was a shark left, there was a dolphins, and people still weren't paying attention. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, did you just see that? The wave that came in, that was kind of high, came right close. I go, oh, please, it's always like that. It's always like that. And I'm looking, what? Look, there's some good people here. There's a big wave. They just came here. No. These are people just playing around. I looked at him, what? I was like, my heart was palpitating. I was disturbed. at this man's indifference. So I walk down and I walk back down. I go downstairs, and then spirit tells me, no, go back out, quick, go back out, go back. So I'm running up the stairs, and because again, there's glass all over. But this wasn't a ship. This was some kind of place I was in. It looked like a hotel lobby or lounge or something. And as I'm walking up, I saw an even bigger wave. Oh, Lord, have mercy. And I dropped my drink. I dropped the plate in terror. It hits and it breaks through the glass. It breaks through. People are screaming. I saw people literally flying. And then where I was, the water came to my end, but there was another glass, and it went, and it broke the whole glass, cracked it, and it was like almost bulging out. If I had not gotten out of the vision, I would have been killed in that vision. I'm like, oh, no, get me out of here. And I was out. And it was creepy, it was scary. My heart was racing. I was like, oh my God. And, in other visions, it wasn't like that where my whole body reacted. The fact that my body reacted the way it did, because I woke up with heart rate. When that happens, that lets me know that this is going to happen soon. Because when I've been having these visions for months, but it wasn't like this. Now my entire ego, the body was affected. This is going to happen, guys. And it's coming from the southern horn. The southern horn, which is the bottom polar part of the earth. So, the southern horn of our ocean is very turbulent. Very turbulent. And to me, I think that there's going to be an earthquake in the ocean. A devastating earthquake in our ocean floor by the southern horn. And that's going to cause the great tsunami that's going to head our way. And I'm telling you, the state of Florida will not be there. Mexico, half of Texas will be underwater. All the shores of the Carolinas, Alabama, gone. It's almost like the United States is going to tilt inward. And other mountain peaks will be rising up from the ocean. Something similar is happening in the Euphrates River now. There's activity going on there, and scientists don't know what it is. There's a movement going on, and I think that maybe the earthquake is already happening, and it's happening in waves, and the outlet will be at the southern horn. Because in the ocean floor, it's not flat surface ocean floor. You got caves and openings. This pressure will escape from where it is, like an electric tube. It's running through, and it's causing changes, seismic changes. It's happening now as we speak, and it's accumulating. And then it's gonna go boom and blow outward into the ocean, in the floor, erupting, and that amount of power is like 22 TNTs. That amount of this large power and energy is what's going to give rise to this horrifying tsunami. And it's going to head our way. And I know that there's a lot of you who have been having these visions, having these dreams. And I've been having them, yes. But this is something that's happening. It's going to happen. And let me tell you, in astrology, the planet that rules tidal waves is Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces. Pisces rules the oceans. So does Neptune. In the chart of the United States, if I don't use the Sigbley chart of the United States. I don't use the Sigbley chart where you have Sagittarius on the ascendant. No, that's wrong. I don't care how many astrologers disagree with me. The Sibley chart is not the proper chart. Not with Sagittarius. No, it does not fit. It might fit certain things, but no. The one that fits the United States of America is the one with the Gemini ascendant. Okay? You all heard me say it, and I will defend it to the end. And that, in the chart of the United States, where you have Gemini on the ascendant, you have Virgo. No, excuse me. You have Pisces in the 10th house. And you got Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is at its highest elevation in the chart of the United States. And in mundane astrology, Neptune rules weather changes, adverse weather changes. We've been having a lot of rain, more so than usual. Ever since Neptune entered Pisces this past March or February, we have been having flood issues. We have been having extra rainfalls in inches. We've been having all kinds of weather storms and anomalies. Neptune in the 10th house in Pisces spells disaster. Poseidon, the god of the oceans, when he stirs up, the entire ocean can be dislodged from its place. And when I saw that, when I looked at the transit of Neptune in the United States 10th house, I said to myself, oh my God, to have Neptune in this position with the Pluto return in Capricorn in the 8th house. That's a try. The 8th house of death and the 10th house of the elite and of the standing of the country in the world stage. We had a Jupiter conjunction. Jupiter only stays 1 year. Maybe we will grant it mercy for that 1 year. We're still trying to explore how Jupiter conjunct Neptune affected the charts of mundane country. Many astrologers are still researching this. We're not going to have an answer while we are in transit. We're going to have an answer after the transit is over. Never during. That way we can look back and see the effects of what happened. Terrible. But I'm like, fuck it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, it makes it so much better. I'm telling you, you gotta be a soldier and to be strong on every level. Every level. It is not easy being an earth angel. It is not easy being a chosen one. It is not. It's a very tough life. Yes, it's prosperous. Yes, abundant. Yes. I mean, that's the least of it. Can we enjoy it properly? We have to make room for it. We do. We have to make room for it because it's a tough life. Yeah. And when you have downtime, I'd love to go to the pool in the hotel. The hotel has all kinds of amenities. I never have time for it. When I'm down with the videos, I'm so tired and exhausted. And then I get these visions that I have to write down, and so you never really at rest. Um, it- I can imagine the prophets before me, how they might have been to fall. But yes, I saw in the United States chart that the Neptune here is very significant, and Neptune is going to leave that portion of the United States in a couple more years. I think it's 9 years. So it's just beginning. So, and to have Neptune this elevated in the mundane chart of the United States spells problems with our oceans, our water. This is an outer planet. This is an outer planet, which is close now to our proximity. It has to be something huge. Neptune rules earthquakes. So it's in ancient mythology, it was a gorgon. You know, so something really something is it's terrifying. It's terrifying. And and if you look at the news now, there are things happening in Florida weather-wise that you're not paying attention to because again, a lot of us don't watch TV. A lot of us don't like to watch television. The internet is the new matrix. And it was done exactly by design so that you don't get to see what's happening on the other side of the spectrum. If you're too busy on this realm, you're not looking at what's happening over here. And all the deception that's happening is over here, where we're not looking, because we're so caught up in this vertex reality here, which is the internet. That whoever designed the internet is a master diabolical mind. Because now it's all about the internet. It's all about YouTube. It's the new platform where everybody's jumping in, jumping in. People don't even watch television anymore. People don't watch the news. They don't, and that's exactly what the government wanted. Because now it can go and do a whole bunch of shit behind the scenes, and nobody's paying attention. Think about it. Nobody's paying attention. So it's easy to steal from the cookie jar when you're not watching the jar, or watching whose hand is attempting to go at the cookie jar. Think about it. Now, let me take a little 2-minute break, go to the boys' room, and then we're going to talk about the United States and its comparison to ancient Babylon and the ETs. Thank you for your donations and for your Sunday ties. Please give it at Zelly. You can give it at Cash App. I'm not sure. I just set it up. It's Fernando. Ferna, the number 5, NDO. I will write it down. Either Cash App or Zelly. I prefer Zelly because I'm a little bit nervous with Cash App. It's a brand new one. When Atlantis sunk, I wouldn't be surprised if Neptune was very highly pronounced in the birth chart of that country. I wouldn't be surprised. It has to have been very pronounced, right? But this is going to be short because, again, I have to go downstairs and pay the bill. So, also, okay, so the Cash App is Fernando, is Ferna, the number 5, N-D-O, Fernando, okay, with the number 5 after the A, okay? You should be able to find me, okay? Or if not, Zelly, okay? Zelly will be great. Okay, give your ties. We're keeping it consistent, right? A lot of people want me to keep this consistent. So if that's consistent, I'm going to continue to give you this consistently. So this is great. Uh, the United States is today's number one world superpower. It seems that extraterrestrials gravitate to the country that's in power throughout the entire planet. Yes, there are extraterrestrial sightings all over the world, and it has been documented all over the world. But to actually have captive ATs from other star systems, yes, that is true. That has happened here. We do have extraterrestrial beings here. We do have an uncommon being from the moon here that we took. We took and shit. Government tells us of one. We might have been taking many. Who knows? We yet again fucked up. We did something that we weren't supposed to do. We were warned not to do this, and we did it. We did it anyway, and that is going to cause a ripple effect. It has been disturbing me ever since NASA announced that we were going to go back to the moon. It hit me like a ton of brick, and it was very like, First of all, you lied by saying that you went to the moon the first time. That's a lie. We never touched the moon because they made sure that we didn't. So we decided to create space probes. That's why we did space probes. We didn't have to do space probes had we had permission to be up in the moon. The reason why we had space probes and the Cassinis and the birth of these probes, it was a blessing in disguise because it allowed us to go to other planets and study these other planets. That was a great feat of science. So it actually worked out better for us. But that wasn't the intent. The intent was to go to the moon and go throughout the entire lunar surface and explore it. That we were not allowed to do, which is why we could not go to the moon. And we made up some story, and then other countries signed the treaty, and no one was to go up there. We were warned. Now we're going back. See, because we got so much information from these probes, it's like there is now statutory evidence that there are life beings living on the moon, and they might be living inside the moon, coming out. Just like the Earth is hollow, and we can live on the Earth, and there are people in ancient civilizations that have lived inside the Earth, the Middle Earth, the hollow Earth, like the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. That all that shit is real. Nothing is new under the sun. If it's possible on the planet Earth, it's possible on the moon. Don't forget that the moon was part of the Earth. And we have craters on the moon and open depressions, no different than what we have here. So I think science over the past 50 years have found evidence that there is man-made structures on the moon that were not made by human hands. So I think this has precipitated an anxiety of really wanting to know what's in there, what's over there. So I think this country is confident enough where it wasn't before. I think this country is confident enough with all the empirical data that it has received over the past 50 years and probing and exploring the moon, because they built a fucking station. They built a station. You're going to spend billions of dollars on a space station. Why? Because you were told not to go to the fucking moon. So we had to build a station close to the moon to stay from that proximity because we weren't allowed to step foot in it. We were warned. That is why we spend billions on this space station. It isn't because we were curious and we had nothing to do with our money. No, it was to get closer to find out what is going on there. And Neil Armstrong was the first one, and he was brave to come forward. He was brave to come forward and said that there were beings out there and they were going in and out like nothing. No different than planes landing and taking off from our airports. No different. So now that we got all the data and when they found out that there was a satellite similar to ours and a detonator, that prompted us to go back. Now we can go back there and actually land on the moon. This is an aggressive act after we've been told. And then again, it's funny because people telling themselves, because now that the government is saying that they captured an actual human species, well, it looks human. And the Bible talks about these beings look human. Okay? So it's so funny how it parallels the Bible. They got a human thing, not a human, an extraterrestrial that looks human. And they brought her from the moon here. They've captured that. Well, of course, that doesn't surprise me when it comes to the United States. They always got to have a first grab or first pick of the litter. Always. They cannot look at something for its own sake. No, they got to take it, because that's all what we know how to do is just take. And I think that if the story is true that we did do this, that might precipitate a reaction from these beings, which might explain why they will be coming here and aggressively coming here because of what we did and what we precipitated beforehand. Everything has a reaction. There's no reason why these beings will be coming down here for what? For nothing? No, unless they were provoked. So going back to the moon, even though it was alive 50 years ago, I think this time it ain't going to be alive. I think we're going to actually touch the surface of the moon. And once we do that, I think that's going to set up a whole chain of reactions that's not going to be good. And I think deep down, that's what certain powers want to do. This is why we have bunkers being built. This is why we got rich people now buying to go up in space, and have colonies up in space, because they want to be out of the scene when the shit hits the fan. And this has happened before. Nothing is new under the sun. Ancient Babylon was the city of the day. The city or country of the day. Every extraterrestrial activity in that Bible happened in Babylon or the surrounding cities of Babylon. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. The Roman Empire. Rome was the country of the day. And we see the same extraterrestrial activities happening there. Now we have the United States, superpower of the day. And all extraterrestrial activities always seem to be happening in the United States, in Roswell, in the central United States, in the plains of Mexico, New Mexico, and Nevada. Oh, yeah, and I've been taken up there. I had an extraterrestrial who disguised himself as Morgan Freeman, the actor, Morgan Freeman. And I told him, "You're not Morgan Freeman." And he thought I wasn't going to know. And he said, "How do you know? You've never met me before." And I go, "You are not Morgan Freeman. You're not Morgan Freeman. I never met the man, but you're not Morgan Freeman." And then he smiled. It was almost diabolical. It was eerie. And then the blue mist started coming out of him. And it was a beginning. He was saying, "You are paying attention in the wrong area. You should be paying attention to the monoliths of the central United States. These are portals. You should pay attention to Mensa, Mexico, New Mexico. You should pay attention to these plains here because there are portals here. There are portals and they're coming in and out. And they're having Machu Picchu in Peru. He told me that. And I've always suspected that because so many extraterrestrial activity happening in that part of the United States, there's something going on there. But I didn't give it no energy. I gave it no energy. Because to me, I thought that it was a hype. That it's not real. Roswell, Area 51. I never really bought into it. I never really believed it. I never give it energy. I was more concerned with what was more tangible, because it was all played out, But no, they came in and told me, no. You need to pay attention to Roswell. You need to pay attention to New Mexico. You need to pay attention to these parts of the United States. This is where we are centralizing. Yep, they told me that. He came and disguised himself as Morgan Freeman. Why Morgan Freeman? I have no idea. I just want to let you know that extraterrestrials are going to be more populated in countries of leadership. And the two countries of leadership is the United States and the Soviet Union. Don't sleep on the Soviet Union. They know a whole lot more than we know. And they were the first ones to go up in space, not the United States, the Russians. That's what created the space war, the Star Wars to go up there. The United States got jealous. Guys, please donate. Donate Zelly, give your ties, okay? Zelly, 347-485-6258. Oh, Cash App. Though I'm a little nervous. And that's Fernando. That's FERNA, the number 5, right? NDO. Guys, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this dissertation on the Sunday. Hope it resonates.